while back I did somewhat of a review of Paper Mario Sticker Star, but it was kinda bad and all I did was rant on things I didn't like about the game. I didn't really list much of the good stuff and I apologize for that. This time I will try to do a little bit more fair review, although no guarantees that I'll give it a perfect rating, obviously. So let's just get started. Paper Mario Sticker Star was released in 2012 for the Nintendo 3DS as the fourth installment in the Paper Mario series of RPGs. The story begins in the Sticker Festival, where all the Toads are gathered to make their wish on the Sticker Comet. But Bowser appears to crash the party, and after a couple Toads try to stop him, he touches the comet, causing it to blow up. The 6 royal stickers are spread across the Mushroom Kingdom, with one of them landing on Bowser's head. Bowser becomes a godlike monster and goes on a rampage, defeating Mario in the process and stealing Princess Peach. And that is basically it. There is not any more plot to this game than that. Unlike in the original Paper Mario, plot barely gets referenced at all, and Bowser doesn't have a single line of dialogue either. Which is quite odd considering he was one of the funniest characters in the first 3 Paper Mario games. Luigi does not have any lines of dialogue either, and after his amazingly epic role in Super Paper Mario in which he's the chosen one of the prophecy, Luigi is demoted to a background element in this game. The final battle is one of the most underwhelming in the whole series, with the whole plot twist being, you beat Bowser, he gets big, you fight him again, you defeat him, you beat the game, yay! That's pretty much it. I'm being very generous when I give the story a 3 out of 10. The whole game revolves around the stickers that have rained across the kingdom, which are used in battle. Unlike in the first 2 Paper Mario games, Mario is unable to use his jump and hammer attacks without using up a sticker unless he uses it as a first strike. This also unfortunately means that if you don't have any stickers, you're forced to run from battle, unless you want to keep blocking enemy attacks until they might drop a really crappy sticker for you to attempt to beat them with. You can also find real-life objects scattered throughout the land, which are initially useless, but if you throw them at a special wall, they become stickers that you can use in battle and apply in the overworld to make changes in your environment. An example of this is using a fan to blow away enemies, or placing it near a windmill to blow the blades out of the way of the door. One of my complaints about this game is the bosses. The bosses are an absurdly high difficulty spike compared to the rest of the game. Whereas normal enemies can usually be beaten in one turn, the bosses usually have a crap ton of health, and most attacks barely do anything. Luckily, they usually have a weakness. Unluckily, this weakness is usually very cryptic and hard to figure out. For example, in the fight against Gooper Blooper, you need a sponge. Right when he's about to shoot poison at you, you're supposed to use the sponge, and it will be reflected back at him, poisoning him instead. But seriously, how would you know to use a sponge on a fight against a giant squid unless you're a SpongeBob fan and know that SpongeBob annoys Squidward? Even then, it's kinda hard to figure out. Although a SpongeBob and Mario crossover would be pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie there, especially if it's an RPG. There's an overworld map similar to the new Super Mario Bros. Series, a little bit similar to Super Mario RPG, but a lot closer to the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Not really complaining about that, but I don't really like how there's so much new Super Mario Bros. Influence in this game when there should be more influence from the previous Paper Mario games, of which only the art style seems to be the same. Even so, most of the enemies have been redesigned to look like their new Super Mario Bros. Counterparts. The gameplay is pretty flawed, but it's fun to pick up and play, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kinda addicting. So I'm gonna give the gameplay a 7 out of 10. Next we have the presentation of the game, the overall feel. And I gotta say, this is the best part of the game. It feels like Paper Mario. Not Paper Mario as in the storied adventures of the previous games, but quite literally, Paper Mario. Everything's made out of paper, even the sound effects are papery. It really pops, especially when you have the 3D mode on. The music is quite literally amazing. I might go so far as to say the overall music quality is the best in the series, which is something I can't say about this game for most other things. However, I will say that the Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario have more memorable tunes to me. Sadly, Despite having an amazing presentation and pretty decent gameplay, the story really brings it down for me. This wouldn't normally be that much of a deal breaker, but this is an RPG series and one that's always had at least a passable story. Even Paper Mario 64 has a better story than this, and it was previously my least favorite Paper Mario before I played this game. I'm sorry to say that this is my least favorite Mario RPG, but that doesn't mean it's objectively bad game. It's not a broken mess like games such as Sonic 2006. It's still worth at least a rent. Overall, I give this game a 5 out of 10 stars, and that may seem like a pretty bad rating, but I'm still going to recommend it. So, without further ado, this has been Fawful the Great 64 reviewing Paper Mario Sticker Star. Have a nice day, and be sure to subscribe if you want more of this content. Peace out. See you later.